Hi guys, Lee Martin from Nemo Racing, and today I want to talk to you about shock balls. So first I want to talk about is my standard setup for Nemo Raceway. What we have at the moment is elliptical balls. We have one in the front and we have two in the rear. And as you can see, when I push the car down, I get a little bit of up travel in the front from when the chassis is bottomed out, but I get almost nothing in the rear. It's almost on the bump stops, but the chassis is still on the deck. So what we're going to do is show you how that handles.
So here we go, slow motion, and you can see the car through the bumps. Gets on the nose, not too much, and allows it to rotate a nice amount. Into the chicane now, and again, nice slow motion so we can see everything happening. As it goes into the bump, you'll see the front compress, but it doesn't allow the chassis to hit the floor, keeping the car going nice and straight. And the same when we're getting on the power, the rear end doesn't over compress. Now into the nice hairpin, gets on the nose, allows the car to rotate again, and then as we get on the throttle on the way out, it will start to lift, but not over compress, especially through the jump section. And then as it lands, it will go nice and straight.
Right, we're back. So that was our first set, as I mentioned before. Now we're going to run the car without any shock balls in the rear. So we've taken two off each shock. Now you can actually see we have a lot of extra up travel in the rear end. Now what this should do is transfer more to the rear end, but it could make it difficult to drive. It's probably not going to go through the high-speed corners as good as it was before, so let's see.
So into the sweeper as before. There's not too much we can see on this one because it's very front end dependent. It's getting on the front. We're not on the throttle too much. We are a little bit here, but I get a good exit and you can't massively see anything going on. Here's where we should see it. You'll see the rear starts to compress more than what it was before, especially coming out. You see the rear end is ducked down and it's a little bit more wallowy when you get on the throttle. Here is a very good example of it. I go a little bit wide, but then when I pick up the throttle to get back on it, you'll see the front wheel lift because it's over compressing on the back left corner without those bump stops in there.
Right, so now we've gone full ball setup. So we've got two in the rear, two elliptics, and two elliptics in the front here. Obviously you can use the different balls, but the same amount of up travel. But here we go, we've got no up travel front and rear. So what this should do is make the car really neutral to drive. It's not going to roll and pitch too much, but we're going to find out.
So we're into the sweeper again, this time from a slightly different angle, so we can see the front compress. And as you can see, a little bit different from before, it gets on the nose, but it doesn't transfer as much weight, so the rotation is less. This will make the car much easier to drive for a lot of guys because you don't get that big weight transfer in steering. As we move into the sweeper, you'll see that the front end stays really level. This keeps the car very flat. Even when you land, you can get on the gas and it pushes straight, which is what a lot of guys look for when they're setting up their car. Into this one again, it's very nice to see. Get hard on the brakes. The front end dives, but it doesn't over compress. You don't get as much rotation. And then when you come out of the turn, everything stays pretty level, pretty flat. Even when it's climbing up through the bumps and landing, it goes nice and straight.
There we go, that was with all the balls in, as mentioned, and I think you can see the difference. So, there we go. Thank you very much for watching.